The Mariners are red hot right now because of Cal Raleigh.
I think you said it perfectly right there. I mean, Cal Raleigh has really turned his season around since July 1st. If you look at his overall slash line for the season, it's good. But if you look at it since July 1st, the dude is slugging .571 with a 153 WRC plus on top of walking 13.5% of the time. I mean, Cal Raleigh came into this season, and we're talking expectations, and we're talking about, man, can Cal Raleigh be an all-star catcher? Can he hit 260 and hit 30 bombs again? Can Cal Raleigh do all of this great stuff from both sides of the plate? And he comes out a little slow, and we're a little disappointed, I would say. But now, since the calendar's turned to July and onward, and Cal Raleigh's been a real catalyst in this offense and turning it around here in the second half and contributing to the team winning 24 of 34 games.
You can even narrow the lens a little bit closer. If you look at what Cal's done since the All-Star break, 949 OPS, 8 bombs, 161 WRC plus, and he's now up to nearly a 3-WAR season. This guy thrives on the second half. I mean, you look at what he did last year, it was a similar story. He got hot in the second half last year. Team rode it with him. He put up a 126 WRC plus total for the second half last year, where this year, first month, 161. So just to put it in perspective, for as good as Cal was in the second half last year, he's on another planet right now with what he's doing. This is ridiculous. And he is anchoring this offense.
And it really all comes down to Cal Raleigh slugging. I mean, that's what it is. If he's not slugging, then it's not who he is. But as you've noticed, when he's gotten hot here in the second half, he has all of a sudden started crushing balls, along with playing his solid defense, where we now look, and he is second in the team in F4 behind Julio, right where he was last year.
It's amazing what 1 month can do, because he did start slow. His first half as a whole was pretty ho-hum. He put up a 97 WRC plus, so he's 3% below league average for the entire first half of the year. Fast forward to now, it's a different ball game. Even look at the league ranks. Mariners catchers are second in baseball in WRC plus. They're only behind the Braves, featuring the best catcher in baseball in Sean Murphy. 1 month has made an entire difference in turning Cal's season around.
And if you look at rates at the plate, career high in walk rate, 10.5%. Strikeout rate is 27.5%, which is down 2% from last season. A guy who struck out a bunch in the minors. He struck out more last year, but it now cut that down while keeping most of his power. He's not quite at the power numbers he was at last year, but there's still a lot of time left for him to catch up and get to that 27 home run mark he was at last year. And his slugging percentage, I think overall, is down about 50 points this year, but he has time to catch it up still with the numbers that he's doing. So it's very intriguing. And I mean, what a compliment to have Tom Murphy and Cal Raleigh hot at the same time. And you feel, no matter who or both that you put in the lineup, that you're getting production out of them and that your catchers are some of your best hitters in the lineup.
They've got to find a way to bring Tom Murphy back next year. But that's a side note. While you mentioned Cal's slugging numbers being down, his on base is actually up. It's up nearly 30 points from where it was last year. So he's taking a little bit of a dip in the power numbers, although it may come back up. The fact he's getting on base more is a very, very positive sign.
Yeah, it is. And I got to say, that swing he had yesterday, whew, what a swing.
I have a question for you. How often do baseballs go 450 feet right down the line? I swear it's almost never.
It is never. That would be a good baseball smart question. You should have asked me before we recorded. We could have looked. We'll look after the episode. I think that's something to look at, but it doesn't really happen. I mean, those 450-foot home runs go into the power alleys and go out to center field. They are not dead pull. That's why we've almost never seen anyone hit one to the top deck at T-Mobile Park in right field, because the ball doesn't go that far when you pull it. It's just the nature of your swing and where your power is at in your swing. It's usually more powerful going up the middle than it is going dead pull. But it didn't really seem to matter to Cal Raleigh. And at a 37-degree launch angle, too.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
that ball was
moon scraper.
It was absolutely sent into orbit. And again, the fact it went right down the right field line, too, just made it that much more majestic. I know everybody's talking about it on Twitter, by the way, but have we seen that swing somewhere before? Maybe. Just maybe.
Yes, we have. Yes. The moment might not have been as cool. And the bat flip, it was good, but not quite as good as the clincher. I thought the clincher bat flip was about as perfect as it got. But the reaction on the mound, I think, made up for it. I forget who the Padres pitcher was. I mean, looked up, saw the baseball, and screamed "fuck" at the top of his lungs while walking back away from where the ball was going towards the away dugout. So
they sunk him up with Aaron Savali because earlier in the year, or not Aaron Savali, it was Zach Plesac. We were talking about Savali earlier.
Yes, yeah, where he.
So Steven Wilson, who was the reliever that gave it up to Cal, he got sunk up next to Zach Plesac from earlier in the year. Both of them giving up home runs at T-Mobile Park, and both of them just punching the ground as they give it up. I thought that was hilarious.
That is good. Maybe we can get a trifecta of someone spiking their glove like Erod did in the 18 World Series.
Could it be Cole Irvin this weekend?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that dog, you got it. You just triggered the thought in my head. I was telling Lyle before we were going to start recording. All right, I have something I want to lead off with, but I don't remember what it is. Oh, what a magical census is this weekend. All right, we have to talk about this because I wanted to talk about it at the start. We haven't gotten to do it yet. I mean, how perfect is it that on Felix's induction weekend that Cole Irvin is going to start on the other side? Oh, my goodness. I thought we were saying goodbye forever when we did our segment before the season started when he got traded. But no, he is coming back home for one of the biggest nights in Mariners franchise history. Congrats, Cole. Let's go.
Oh, God, I cannot wait. This guy's absolutely getting lit up on Saturday. Like, the Mariners probably won't win all 3 games of this series. They're winning Saturday. Or at the very least, they're lighting up Cole Irvin.
They have to. Wow. I mean, it could not be more perfect. Do you think... I'm sure everyone in the clubhouse knows that, too. There's just no way they don't.
Yeah, 2 years ago when Tom Murphy did one of his interviews after they beat the A's for the millionth time, somebody asked him about Cole Irvin, and he threw in the phrase team like that in the post-game interview. So yeah, these guys know what's going on. They're going to know who's pitching. Again, as a reference for those who maybe don't know the backstory here, 2 years ago, Cole Irvin had a bad start against the Mariners early in the year of 2021. In a press conference, he was pissed off about the outing, and he said, regarding the Mariners offense, a team like that should not put up 10 hits against me or against anybody for that matter. Now, naturally, that quote made its way through social media and got all the way back to the Mariners clubhouse. All I will say is, please go on Baseball Reference and look up Cole Irvin's numbers against the Mariners every start since then in 2021. Because I have never seen a self-own to this level. Like, it's almost unfathomable at this point how atrocious he's been against Seattle.
Do you have them written down? Because I think I know it off the top of my head.
I don't know the actual line by line from his starts off the top of my head, but I remember in 2021, he finished the season with the highest career season ERA against the Mariners in one single year for any pitcher that made a minimum 5 starts.
I think it was against any team ever.
I thought it was just against the Mariners. But point being, dude's ERA against the Mariners in 2021 was it was over 7. And then last year he made 1 start against them and got blown up.
I think I'm going to guess off the top of my head. I believe his career against the Mariners, he's 0-7 with an 8.5 ERA. I think that's what it is. I don't think I'm too far off.
Again, I've never seen a self-own like this ever. Like, it's something you'd write in a fairy tale. Now, we'll see if changing teams affects this or not. I certainly hope not.
I cannot wait for Saturday. I mean, the ceremony's going to be nice, but I think the ceremony honestly might be second fiddle to me for what will happen during the game.
Man, like this bit has to last forever now. That's why I'm rooting so hard for it. Because if the Mariners light up Cole Irvin again, that is another year of walking in the sunshine that Mariners fans get regarding digging Cole Irvin's grave for him.
And the thing is, he doesn't get to just shake it off and go back out there like he was with the A's, where he could go out and have a good start against the M's, I don't know, in September when they play again. But the Orioles and the Mariners play 6 times a year, and he might only get 1 shot at it a year. And if he now, in the AL East, gets lit up once a year by the Mariners, I mean, he's going to have to sit on that for an entire year before he gets a chance to redeem himself.
He is the best. He's going to have to, somebody's going to write a storybook about him one day. Some Mariner storybook.
This is going to be a crucial part of the early 2020s Mariners history book. I mean, it is going to be nemesis number 1, Cole Irvin.
It's unbelievable. I can't wait. I cannot wait for Saturday.
That should be good. Okay, Lyle. Anything else here before we move on?
Stay hot, Cal Raleigh. Keep it going, Big Dumper. That's all I can say, because when he's hot, as we saw in the second half last year and now in the second half this year, when he's hot, the team's hot.
Cole Irvin did distract me from my last point. I will just throw this in here before we move on to and go down on the farm. Let's just contextualize this lineup now since July 1st. I mean, Cal Raleigh's been crushing it, but here's the team numbers since July 1st. J.B. Crawford has a 177 WRC+. Julio, a 143 WRC+. Gino, 131. Mike Ford, even though he's really, really struggled recently, has a 132 WRC+. And Tom Murphy has a 182 WRC+. And I'm thinking, wow, it's almost like when you can consistently score runs with a majority of your lineup and you continue to have good pitching, you can reel off 24 wins in 34 games. What a concept. And you won't have to stay at 500.
Even Ty France, if you look at Ty's last 3 weeks or so, he's around that 120 range. So everybody's starting to pick it up a little bit. You didn't even throw Dylan Moore in there. Dylan Moore in the last 2 weeks has been great. Everybody.
That was on purpose. That was on purpose.
Well, I purposely threw him in there. That's my guy.
Oh, okay. Well, I was trying to keep you on your toes.
There we go. You always do.
I do, yes.